We just heard how security is being tightened at the federal courthouse in Miami, where Donald Trump is set to be arraigned tomorrow. But the day began for Trump in New Jersey, where he left his home in Bedminster to begin his journey to Florida. Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett continues our coverage live from there with more. NJ.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. We're on Route 206, just east of the Trump Golf Club. The former president was on the move this morning to Newark Airport shortly after 11 a.m., so about an hour ago. We have video of that. You're going to see that now. And Dave, as a former president, he now gets a fraction of the security detail he had as president. For example, the presidential motorcade, typically in New York City, has 32 vehicles, not including the motorcycles, Dave. So you can see this is obviously a fraction of what he had as president. But let's talk about the indictment. 37 felony counts, willful retention of national defense information, essentially defense and national security secrets, conspiracy to commit obstruction, and making false statements about whether he had given up all of the documents in his possession. So what are we talking about? Literally hundreds of classified documents, some of them marked top secret. What are they about? Well, they're secret, of course, and we don't know specifically, but the indictment paints them in broad strokes. The U.S. nuclear program, relative defense capabilities not only of the U.S. armed forces, but of certain foreign governments. There was also an unspecified attack plan against an unspecified foreign government, and conceivably putting U.S. and international spy networks at risk should these documents fall into the wrong hands. Well, Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, painted a grim picture on CNN this morning.
If he has anything like what the indictment alleges, and of course the government will have to prove it, then he has committed very serious crimes. This is a devastating indictment. I speak here as an alumnus of the Justice Department myself, because not only is it powerful, it's very narrowly tailored. They didn't throw everything up against the wall to see what would stick. This really is a rifle shot, and I think it should be the end of Donald Trump's political career.
A stark assessment from Ambassador Bolton. You know, Trump's own former Attorney General Bill Barr was interviewed on Fox News over the weekend, and he said if even half the allegations in this indictment are true, Trump is, in his words, toast. A detailed, damning indictment is how he described it.